Hello and welcome to presentation of Just Broadcast Ultimate Lite playout. Ultimate Lite is the younger brother of our most powerful playout JB Ultimate, and it has the same structure as JB Ultimate. So this is a client-server system and multi-channel system. Client-server system means that you can put a playout in one PC and control it from other PC in local area network. Multi-channel means that you have 4 playouts or 4 channels in the system. So you cannot get this system with 1, 2, or 3 playouts. You have 4 playouts in the package. Also, from the other side, this is a same playout as Just Broadcast Professional, and it has all the same features as Just Broadcast Professional, but also we put some few more features from Ultimate. So basically, this playout represents 4 Just Broadcast Professional playouts. So if you need more than one playout, maybe it's much better to get JB Ultimate Lite instead of 2 professional playouts. Now, how can we use this Ultimate Lite playout? As you can see, we have one more application in the system. Standard applications are playout server, remote control, scheduler, CG editor, and multi-view, and also monitoring application with monitoring if playouts are on or not. In this playout, we also have one more application which is called Central Server. Central Server is the brain of our system, and that application, same as playouts, must be turned on all the time. Now let's see how we can use Ultimate Lite. As for all the other playouts, we can put Ultimate Lite in one PC with Central Server, remote control, scheduler, and work the same way as we would work in professional, but only difference is we now have 4 playouts. If you want some more professional way to set up the system, then you can do like this. This is the most common setup. You will put Central Server and all playouts in one PC, and then you can control it from other PC in the network. Which means, for example, remote control one person, he can control, for example, playout 1 or 2. Remote control can control playout 3 and 4, and then maybe remote control 3 can control all the playouts. And the same thing with the scheduler. One person can make playlist for playout 1 or 2, and other person can make playlist for playout 3 and 4. In this situation, NAS is required because we need all PCs to get files on the same path. And finally, if you want the most professional way to use it, but also the most expensive, you can see in this picture, you can put each playout on one PC, Central Server on one PC, and then remote control or scheduler applications on multiple PCs in local area network. Also, in this situation, NAS is required. Now, as I said before, we add few features from Just Broadcast Ultimate in this Ultimate Lite version, and one of the features is option for redundancy, end-to-end redundancy. And we can see in this picture how can we set up the system. In this situation, Central Server must be on different PC. Then we have one PC with the main playouts and one PC with the backup playouts. Of course, again, you can use 4 PCs. This is just an illustration with 2 PCs. So let's say in this main playout, we can put 2 playouts, which are master playouts and are working all the time. And in the backup PC, we can put spare playouts. They are on the standby and waiting if something happens to main playout PC. Central Server is on different PC because it controls both PCs or all the playouts in both PCs. So if one of the playouts in main playout PC turn off, anything can happen. Then central server see that there is no information anymore from that playout and automatically send signal to backup PC, and then one of the playouts which are on standby will become playout, main playout from the left PC. They will work as the playout as long as we start again on main PC that same playout. As soon as it is on again, it will send signal to central server that it's on, and the backup playout will again go to standby and wait for anything else to happen. So basically you can select how you want to use Ultimate Lite system. You can use system with 4 master playouts and 4 channels, or you can create redundancy 3+1 or 2+2. Again, it's up to you to decide. And of course, there is option, you must use NAS in this situation. Now let's talk about central server application. As we said earlier, this is the brain of our system, and all communication goes through central server. This is the main window of this application. You can see here number of registered playout in the system, number of active playouts which are on air at the moment, number of playouts which are running some content, stop playouts which are not running any content, and inactive playouts which are not on air, application is not turned on. And you can see the number of spare playouts. We don't have spare playouts. We'll talk later in this video about spare playouts and redundancy. Then here you can see the list of playouts. We have 4 playouts in the system, and we set each channel to play on 1 playout. This is a status column. Green light means that playout application is turned on, red it's turned off, and in playing column, green light means that application is playing some content, and red that is not playing any content. Here we can see the list of spare playouts. Again, we'll talk about it later. Active users, log, and information about application. What's important for central server is that we can set up our entire system in this application. So you can still change most of the options in remote control for each channel, like you do in professional playout, but there are some things that you can only change and set up here in central server. So we go to this administration button, and this is the first different thing. In Ultimate Lite, we have users, and in this situation we have one default admin user, and it has a password admin. Of course, you will change that when you first time start a system, and that's the only way how you can enter administration in central server. Here, this is a user window. I will delete this test user to create it again. So we have administrator, that default user, and it can access all the playouts in remote control and all the channels in scheduler. To create a new user, you click on new user button, and this is standard name, username, password. And if we click on test user, as you can see, there is nothing in remote control, there is nothing in scheduler. So what we must do is click this change data button and select some playouts for this user. In this situation, we'll select only playout 1 and playout 2. And the same thing for scheduler, we'll select channel 1 and channel 1.2, because these are the channel sets for these playouts. Also, there is option for permissions. When you click permissions, you'll see many different things you can set. For example, we can set this test user not to enter this administration window in central server, or we can say user can add files to playlist, but he cannot change file properties. Or for example, you can use file lives URLs, but you won't use CG, or you will not see CG tab. I mean, many different things you can set up for each user. Then we have a channel list. As you can see, we have 4 channels here. Again, basically everything is the same as in a professional playout, all the options. Only different thing is that beside the video file for emergency, you also have entire emergency list, which means you can add some file on the local hard drive, add them to this list, and every time playout main playlist, or let's say playout stops, system will play this emergency playlist. Also, if there are no files on the path, if your local area network is down, whatever happens, or even if you just press stop in the remote, in that situation, this emergency playlist will play. So this emergency playlist is not the same thing as filler list. Filler list is filling our main playlist. Emergency list only works when main playlist is stopped. Then all the other options are the same. Graphic settings, CG settings, transition, subtitle, category, and DTMF options. Let's go to playouts. Here you can see the list of our playouts, and also you can see if playout is set to be spare or not. Playout name, you can change it. Same thing for channel. These are generic name for channel. You can change each name of the channel, of course. Same for playout. And now this is important thing. You can set channel for each playout, which means if you want to use 4 channels, then each playout will have 1 channel. But also you can use same channel on multiple playouts. So for example, we can set playout 1 to be full HD, and then we set playout 2, for example, to be 720, and then we can set same channel on both playout 1 and playout 2. So they will use same files, same playlists, everything will be the same. Only difference is video format of each playout is different, and then you will have channel 1 in full HD, and other output from channel 1 will be 720. Of course, you can put all 4 playouts to have the same channels. Again, up to you to decide. Video and audio format, graphic acceleration for CG, file caching, and also there is the option to select a different time zone than computer time zone for playout. So, for example, you put 4 playouts in one PC, but one of the playouts is sending signal, let's say, to Brazil, South America, and all other 3 are in Europe. So when you create playlist, of course, you must know the time. What's the time in Brazil? And in that situation, you can change the time zone only for that playout and to set to Brazil time zone, and then it will be much easier for you to create a playlist in scheduler. Then engine options, DTMF receiver on live and URL, start live input decklink in new process if there is any problem with Blackmagic or cards, transition of fixed items, and one feature we took from Ultimate, GPU pipeline. This is very important feature because you need powerful PC for if you want to put 4 playouts in one PC, and in situation when CPU is not enough or you don't want to have high CPU. In that situation, you can turn this option on for playouts and, of course, for all applications. And then in that situation, GPU will help for encoding, decoding, and all the other options in playout. So this is a good thing to be turned on if you put 4 playouts in one PC. And also option to set redundancy, to set playout if you want it to be spare playout for redundancy. Then same settings as you have in professional, safety features, outputs. Same as in professional, you have 1 output per playout. Everything is the same as in professional. You can select between decklink, output Blackmagic cards, IP stream UDP, this is variable UDP, RTMP, secure RTMP, DVB UDP, this is the constant bitrate UDP, SRT is variable, DVB SRT constant bitrate, RTP, MPG RTP, direct show, NDI, and HDMI. Whatever you change here, whenever you change, it will change in that layout on the fly. Also inputs for each playout, matrix list. Now we also add matrix option to this system. And as you know, in professional there is no matrix. It's professional plus and faster and also ultimate feature, but we put in this application because of this. If you set up redundancy, then logically is that you will connect each playout with some matrix. And let's say our main playout is connected to input 1 and output 2, and backup is connected to input 3, output 5, for example. Then if anything happens to main playout, as we know, central server will set up playout in the back PC to be the same playout as the main playout. But also in that situation, central server will send signal to the matrix and to change input-output option for the backup playout. It's very important that central server is only sending signal to the matrix, which means, of course, if you're using Blackmagic matrix which is connected over LAN, then in that situation you don't have to set up anything. But in the case you're using some matrix which is connected with a cable and RS232 interface, in that situation that matrix must be connected to the PC where central server is installed. Then we have some common settings for entire system. We have option to select system culture for all application in Ultimate Lite system. We had some situation that JB Ultimate was in different PCs and administrator didn't set same culture in all the PCs, and of course there were some problem. In one PC the number is with the dot, in other PC the number is with a comma, and then it can create many different problems. Then we added this option where you can select one culture for all applications in Ultimate Lite system, no matter what culture is set in the PC. Then we have option to synchronize things between playouts with the same channels. By default, each playlist you create in scheduler for the channel will go to all the playouts with the same channel. But also here you can select some options. When you add the file in one playout, that file will be added in the other playout with the same channel. Also, if you stop playout in with one channel, same playout with the same channel will stop again. Just some basic synchronization things. Then we have options for emergency email, and finally option to set up matrix control. Now let's see how playout window looks like. Basically, it's the same as in a professional playout. Only little difference is here, where you can see that it is set up as master playout. If it's pair, would write, of course, spare. Everything else is the same. Outputs on this side, decoder, and also settings for caching, ping, hard drive, scan for hardware changes, playout settings, again the same with audio compressor and dynamic amplify, color correction, preview audio output. Here is difference. We have an option to select port for this application and entire system, and also option to auto refresh files. Now I'm going to turn on all the playouts 3 and 4. You will see in central server they're going to activate. Here is 3, here is 4. And now 3 is playing, 4 is playing. So we have 4 playouts running. We'll start remote control now. Again, we must set username and password. We'll go to admin user because we want to see all the playouts. And as you can see, we have 4 playouts running in this window. So each small window has the same things as playout, counters, preview, playlist, and buttons. You can play with these windows if you click enlarge. You can see one of the playouts enlarge and others here on the side. And that's basically all. There is nothing else you can do in this window. But the most important thing now is that you want to control playout. And if you click show channel button, you can enter each playout or channel. And this is now the same window and same workflow as we had in professional playout. Just a few differences. Here you have matrix command option. This is option again from Ultimate Pro Plus and Faster. And everything else is the same as in a professional playout. And after this part of the video, you can have you will see video with presentation of professional playout, and you can see all the feature of the system. So if we want to go back to main window to work on some other channel, we just click back to channel list, and then we can switch to other channel, create playlist for that channel. It's very easy to control these 4 playouts in this system. Then we have a scheduler application. Again, we must log in every time. And again, everything is the same as in professional. Only thing is that you have this drop-down menu where you can select on which channel you want to work. So channel 1, and we create playlist for channel 1. Channel 2, and so on. All the options are the same as for Just Broker's professional playout. Same story for CG editor. Same features as in professional. Again, only difference, drop-down menu where you select channel for which you want to create graphics. Then we have multi-view. And we have 2 different looks. You can have this look with a preview of all 4 playouts. But also you can have the same view you had in professional application to watch only one playout, but also to have lives, URL, CG. You see like this, and then you can add live, add URL, add CG, control CG from this window. And also you can run, for example, 4 different multi-views, with each one with one playout. And also we have a monitoring application, which is monitoring our playouts, and if anything happens, it automatically starts it again. What else we wanted to show you is what will happen if we connect as a test user in both remote and ultimate. There's no option for logout because it's not necessary. So we will connect as test. Sorry. And as you can see, test user can only see 2 playouts. These 2 fields are empty. And same thing for scheduler. Again, we go to test user. And in the channel selection, we can only see 2 channels. And finally, let's see how redundancy works. We'll set our playout tool to be spare playout. We go to administration, playouts tab, select playout 2, engine, end-to-end redundancy. Yes. And now you can see that playout 2 now is set as redundant playout. We'll turn it on. And as you can see, it's just opened and that's it. At the moment, it is in standby mode and it's not doing anything. Let's put playouts here. We can see status, it's on air. Of course, it's not playing anything. And now we'll stop master playout. Just see which one is master. This is spare, this is master. Exit. We must wait for a couple of seconds. And playout is starting. And as you can see, JBL Ultimate Lite playout 1, channel 1, it continue with the file in the same moment where file should be in that situation. Output is running, everything is running, like nothing happened. Now this spare playout will run for some time, of course, but as soon as we start our main playout, you can see that spare playout is down again, and master playout is continuing just right where it should continue. And spare is waiting for some other crash. And that's how redundancy works. Of course, when redundant playout is on air, you shouldn't add too many files. Basically, you shouldn't add files at all because there could be some problem with playlists, and then it's always better to just turn on main playout as soon as you can, or to create some big playlist just to make sure you will have enough files. And now you can continue watching video of Just Broadcast Professional to check all the other features which are not mentioned in this part of the video. We will use Just Broadcast Professional, since it's our entry playout, to show you common playout features. Main application in Just Broadcast Professional system is this playout application. As you can see, it's very simple application, and its job is only to do encoding, decoding, and to show CG. In this window, we can see different playlist timers, playlist status, currently playing item, playlist preview with VU meters, number of items in playlist, option to turn off or on video preview, audio, and to go to full screen. But most important things are on the right. In this tab, we can see our output. Just Broadcast Professional has only one output, and we set it to DVB stream UDP. If you click on this running text, you can see encoding process and output statistics. You can start and stop output, change volume for output, and for streaming outputs, you can do some fine tunings here. This is a decoding process of our main playlist. and you can see, check if there is any error in decoding. We have the same thing for live if it's on air, and also for URL if it's on air, and this is statistic of some URL which was playing before. Finally, we have playout settings. We can select here video and audio format of our playout. We have a selection between NTSC, PAL, 720 and Full HD. We must mention that video quality, video format and audio format of playout doesn't have to be the same as the video and audio format of output, which means if you change video format for playout, don't forget to change it also on output. Then here we have audio settings, audio compressor and dynamic amplify, color settings, preview of audio, auto refresh files. Our playout registers all files in database. And here we have option to once a day search for new files on the hard drive and automatically register it in database. Of course, if some file is deleted, system will automatically delete it from database. And notification settings. We'll use this button scan for hardware changes every time we add some new hardware in our PC or if we change any LAN settings. Then we have output settings. We have option between decklink output or Blackmagic cards, IP stream UDP, this is a variable UDP stream, RTMP, secure RTMP, DVB UDP, which is constant bitrate, SRT, which is variable, DVB SRT, which is constant bitrate, RTP stream, TSRTP, direct show, NDI, and HDMI output. For each output, we have different settings. What's important is that you can change your output anytime. Changes will be on the fly. Then we have option to ping hard drive. There are some hard drives which will go to sleep even if you set in Windows not to go. And using this option, playout will create one txt file and write some text in it every n minutes, which will prevent that disk to sleep. Then we have EPG. EPG is created by worldwide standards. Here you can see how XML in EPG looks like. We can select which metadata we want to show in EPG, and all these metadata which are written in English, you can write in your own language, or you can add language tag if it's needed. Every time you change something, you click Save Changes, and you will see changes in our XML. Playout will run EPG every n hours, and it can look for the playlist which are scheduled in advance for up to 1 month. And also there is option to upload XML EPG to some FTP server. Last option in playout is caching settings. In most situations, files are run directly from NAS or from local hard drive. But in some situation, if some file is too big and it's slow to run through network, then you can select this option to copy this file automatically to the local hard drive and run it from there. Of course, you can just select some files to cache, or you can cache all the files. Also, system has option to monitor for hard drive, and if it's full, it will start deleting files. And that's basically everything about playout application. You can leave this window running, but the best thing is to just minimize it, and it will be minimized in system tray. Remote control is controlling our playout. This application doesn't have to be turned on all the time. You can turn it off and playout will continue with your playlist. Playout is safely minimized in system tray. This is the main window. In the upper part, you can see different counters, playlist status, CG status, currently playing item, buttons to play next, play selected, pause, and stop. On the left is the preview window where you can drag drop any file live or URL or even CG. On the right is playlist preview window with VMeter and the master volume control. In the middle is our main playlist. On the left we can see playlist commands, hotkeys, and playout and remote settings. And on the right is Media Asset Manager. Playout has option to register all files, lives, URLs, everything in the database, which means you register files once, change their properties, and every time you add file to the playlist, it will get all those properties you set. Main feature is automatic file registration system. We can click on add folder and add one new folder with the files. And system recognize we have one folder. And now we must categorize that folder. That's the main feature of Just Broadcast Playout. Each folder and each file must be categorized. When you click this button category, you can see some categories we created, but also you can create your own categories. For example, if you click on program category, we can see that program category can show logo, can show graphics, show weather, but it cannot show music title. Also, it will be visible in EPG or any playlist export. If you click on the music, we'll see that it will also show logo graphics, but it won't show subtitle, now next, but it will show music title. And if you click commercial break, intro, promo, or filler, we'll see that it cannot show any of the CG. Since graphics in Cloud is automatic, it means when program file is playing, it can show logo, but as soon as we play commercial file, logo and all other CG will disappear. Again, if next program file is playing, all CG will return on air. So since this is commercial folder, we'll categorize it as commercial. We click on the commercial in grid on the right and click on the folder. You will see it change color. And we click confirm changes. Folders are created. Now we're going to auto register file. And our files are ready. We can create new folder in this folder and add some more files. And we can do it with every folder we have. And now, whenever you need, whenever you add files, whatever you do, you can just click this button, check for changes. System found new folder, and again, it asks us to categorize it. We'll again set commercials. And now Playout will register files from that folder, but also will search all other folders if there is some new file or if any file is missing. And it will be, new files will be automatically registered and missing files will be deleted. So as you can see, test folder is here. Now we can delete one file from test folder. And again, click this button will just check commercial folder, not all folders. And we have a warning that one file is not on the path. Do you want to delete it? Yes. And as you can see in test folder, there is no more file. Also, we can delete entire test folder. And again, click this button to check. And the system found that there is no folder on the path. Do you want to delete? Yes. And then both folder and files will be deleted. As we said, you can set properties for each file. If you double click any file, this is a property window. You can preview file. Also, you can set in and out. On the right, we have file information, then file data, extended data, with the option to get download data from International Movie Database website. We can change video and audio for each file, scale, aspect ratio, interlace, change default audio tracks, crop, rotate, mirror, set transition for this file. You can set global transition, and also you can set transition only for some file. Same thing for CG. You can set global graphics, so one global logo for channel, one global music title for channel, but also you can set graphics for each file, which means if you set one global logo and it's on air now, but only for this file, you want to change logo, or you don't want to show logo on this file, only on this file, then you click do not show logo, and once this file is ready to play, logo will disappear. Right after it, logo will show again. Same thing if you select some other logo, it will change logo for this file, and when it goes to next file, it will again play default logo. Settings for now, next in promo. We can create breaks. If we want to add commercials in our file, we can break it in some point. We'll show you that in another video. We can also create cuts, some small file segments from the file. And also we have a as run log. You can see when this file was playing and for how long. To add file to playlist, we use drag drop operation. So select file and drag it to playlist. You can select multiple files and drag them to playlist. Or you can use buttons insert or append file to playlist. Also, beside that big window we enter on double click, we have a small window here for each file, so you can have a preview here, set in and out, and all the same data we saw in big window. Now, how to add those breaks we created? We click this button here, and instead to add a single file with drag and drop, it will add 4 parts since we created 3 breaks, and then you can put commercials or block or anything between them. Same procedure is to add cuts. Just we click this button, insert file cuts, and again when we drag drop file, you can see it add cut of 3 minutes and 56 seconds. If you have multiple cuts, it will also add them here. And also here you can enter category window and set everything what you need for each category or create a new one. Beside this folder of real folder from the hard drive, we can also create virtual folder. Let me just delete this one. It's a structure in memory of the playout, so it won't move any files on the hard drive. So we just create a new subfolder, and we can now add files in this folder. For example, this. Right click, add to virtual, and here are the files. Of course, you can create any subfolder structure, and then you can use this to add some favorite files, some music files, or some blocks, whatever you need. Next thing we have are lives. We can use decklink live inputs and also NDI. We have this NDI input ready. We can double click it. We can have a preview here. Also, we have live data, and one most important thing for the live. We can set duration of each live, but also there is option called manual next. When this option is on, live doesn't have duration, which means even if it extends 1 hour, it will continue until you manually click go to next item. All other properties are the same as for files. There is also a small window with all the properties, and you can create new live So basically, if you have one Blackmagic input, but you have multiple show in different time on that Blackmagic, then our advice is to create multiple lives for each show, since each show will have different name, different data for now, next, maybe different CG, and so on. To add live to playlist, again, just drag drop, and that's it. And this icon shows that manual next is on. For URLs, we can register any UDP, RTMP, SRT, HLS, whatever stream. Also, we can use YouTube Live, and also we can register some non-protected YouTube links. Procedure is the same as for URL and files. We can double click URL. Again, we have preview window. Again, same as for live, we have fixed duration, but also manual next option, which will extend URL until you press go to next item. All other settings are the same as for file and URL. We also have small window with all the properties. We can add new live, enter URL, name, set buffers. And we have a YouTube search window where you can get those files which are not protected. And then you can register this file to database and you use it in playout. Again, to start to add URL to playlist, just drag drop, click play next. There is a small delay for URL to buffer and it will show on air. Then we can create blocks. We click on the new block. We call it block 1. We can set to be program or commercial, but it's just for your reference. Doesn't have any impact on the system. Then we can add files to this block. We can use file list to add it, or we can add it directly from playlist. So we select files, right click, add to block, select in which block we want to add, okay. And as you can see, we have file added in block. We can move files up and down to change order in block, or we can use the mouse to drag drop. We can load, save, copy paste, delete items from the block, delete all instance of the item. But also we can fix position of each file in block. For example, we'll fix position of this file here and 2, 3, 4, 5th here. So this, if you use a random option, this file will always be on the first place, this file will always be on the 5th place, all other files will randomize. So we can just drag drop block to playlist, as you can see. We have the same order as we have here. But if we use a random option and again drag drop, you will see that this item is on the first place, then others are randomized, and this one is on the 5th place, and again all others are randomized. We have a CG control. In this window you can see what CG is on air. We have 8 different layers, and all of the layers are automatic layers, which means they will show depending on the settings we set for each file category or for each file. But also we have a manual CG layer, and you can start this layer if you double click any CG here in the list, or you can add manual CG start command directly to the playlist to start it at the moment you need the CG. Good thing about manual layer is that there is no limit how many templates you can show at the same time on the screen. So let's double click some templates. As you can see, they're all in the air, so we can double click again, same layer, it will disappear. Or if we want to remove all templates from this layer. Just click clear our graphics and all manual layers are gone. Also, we can drag drop any of this CG to the playlist, and we have manual graphic command. Also, we can put multiple commands at the same time, which means these two graphics will show at the beginning of this file. Since this is manual CG, you have to manually remove it, of course. So we use this manual CG end command, and we put it in the place where we want to hide this CG. So we can select to clear only one of these CG, or we can clear all the CG in manual layer. So CG will show on this file. These are commercial, it won't show anything. It will return again on this file, but after that it will permanently removed. Now we have also those auto layers, which is again graphics, music title, parental advisory, play now next, program title, promote, and weather. So you cannot manually start those CGs from here, but you can select all this CG for each file or global for all the files in the playout. And finally, we have a logo. Again, same story. You can select logo for each file. You can select one global logo. And in this window, you can change global logo, or only for this currently playing item, you can hide logo or show logo again, or even change it only for this item like this. As soon as this file finish, it will return to default logo, which you can see. It returned to default logo. Then we have lists. These are the lists which are pushed from the scheduler application, and they are scheduled to start at some exact time and day. We'll show it with the scheduler. And also we have a filler list. We can use these lists to fill any positive gap we set in the playout, or if some file is missing, there is no file on hard drive, and then you have some empty space between two files, then this filler list will automatically jump in and fill that space with the files. You can set one global filler list, but also you can set filler list for each file, live or URL. And finally, as run log, playout logs all the file which played, and then by clicking this button here, you can see everything, and you can create reports with all the files which played. You have option to export to Excel, PDF, or XML. It's recommended to delete as run from time to time. And also you can search by name, by category, by date, by notes, with different criteria for searching. Also, you can create custom report where you can select which columns or which properties you want to show in export, and it will be exported to Excel. Then on the left, we have playlist commands. As we showed you, you can just drag drop any of these commands to playlist. For example, this is a placeholder. And also you can create your own playlist commands. Then we have a hotkeys. These are basically the shortcuts you create for things you always do. So for example, we have one show CG button. We just click it and CG shows. Or for example, we can hide logo, show weather data. So basically shortcuts which you can create, and you have 22 shortcuts or hotkeys to create. Finally, in the middle is our main playlist. Playout has two working modes. In one mode, which we called line stays, All items which played will stay in playlist for up to 24 hours. After that, they will be removed. Other mode is lines disappear mode, where each line, when it's played, it will disappear from the playlist. So this is line stays mode. As you can see, we have lines which already played, and if we switch here, we switch to line disappear mode, and as you can see, you can only see what's coming next and nothing else. In the playlist on the right, we have option to insert playlist, append, open, save, randomize, randomize selected items, move the top, move up, move down, delete selected, delete all, delete instance, cut, copy, paste, and loop. We showed you how to add files to playlist. Just do drag and drop. If you want to move files in playlist, you can do in 3 ways. You can use mouse to drag drop items in playlist, or you can use buttons to move up or down, or if you click this button, you can use arrows on the keyboard to move items. You can double click each item in a playlist, and you can set its properties. What's important to tell you here is that by default, every file will get all the data from the database. So if you add file to playlist and in the meantime you change something, some value in the database, when this file is scheduled to play, it will get data from the database, all new data. But you can also change properties only for this instance of the file. If you click, if you can see, all properties are disabled. You cannot change anything because this file will get properties from database. But if you want to change something only for this instance of the file, you can click this button here, and then you can change whatever you need. For example, set a different CG only for this instance of the file. And in that situation, it won't get new data from database. It will use data you set in here. Also, there is option for fixed time in the playlist. For example, we want this file to start at 7 o'clock straight. So we write our time, and then we click on fixed time update. So this file will start at 7 o'clock no matter what. You can see this red line. It means that this line will play, but will not play till the end, since it will be cut by the fixed item. If you change time to 6 o'clock, you will see more item which won't be played. This is called negative gap. There are situations when you don't want to cut the last files, and this thing usually works in the situation when there is a fixed item and before it has some positive gap, and then filler list fills with small files, and there is no need to cut small file. Then you can use this option wait to finish. Then this option will wait for this file to finish and then run, notice this file to finish, and then run this fixed item. So basically, this will run, this file will be deleted, this will be deleted, but this file will wait for this file to finish and then continue. Also, there is a positive gap. If we set our timings to 8 o'clock, you can see the blue line now, which tells you that before this file, there is a positive gap of 34 minutes. So there is nothing in that time. In this situation, we don't have to add anything. We can just use our filler list, which is going to fill this time of 34 seconds. Also, you can do right click on playlist items, and you have many options here. Besides that double click, you can also click on show properties button, and you have all the same properties you had in big window. And also there is option to check all the files in playlist. And the system will check if some file is missing or on hard drive, or some file is missing in database, and it will warn you. And the last thing here are the settings. Playout settings. Settings for the graphics, where you can turn off some of the graphic layer if you don't want to use them, and output status. And we go fast through remote settings. You can change playlist look. This is a default look, but you can, for example, change colors of the row, or use back color, or change playlist size to medium or large, or even you can show images. So many ways to customize our playlist. Then in playout options, one important feature is this manual next time for URL and live. When you use manual next option, we can select for how long we want to extend our live or URL. We have some safety feature for the playouts. Channel settings. Important feature is this background, where you can select color bar, color, image, or video file. This video file is important since when something happens in playout, if LAN is down, system cannot get files, then you can put one file on local hard drive, and if playlist stops, this file will play until your main playlist starts again. Also, important option is what will happen if file is missing on hard drive. So there are two options to select. Skip timing, which means if file is missing, playout will jump to next file in playlist, or keep timing, where playout will automatically create a gap, and that gap can be filled with fill list. Then selection of live inputs, selection of global graphics, some CG settings, global transition, subtitle options, emergency email options, services, HTML and text export, again file category window, item colors, which means you can change the color of each item in playlist or text color, DTMF receiver and sender options, and finally weather data. You can show weather for one city. And that's all for the remote control. We'll deal with each part of remote control in separate video. Scheduler application is the application where you create your playlists and push them to play out to start at the time you set. Our customers mostly create 24 hours playlist. All the options are the same as in playout. You also have playlist commands on the left, main playlist in the middle, and media manager on the right. With again file, lives, URLs, so everything is the same as in the playout, so we won't deal with it. We'll deal only with the playlist creation. So basically you can create your playlist in this window. Only difference or new options are Undo and Redo options. So you can create playlist for 1 day in advance or next 10 days in advance. We had the customers who create playlists for 1 month in advance. So procedure is the same. Drag drop files to playlist, create your playlist. And then we have two types of playlist. Playlist can be fixed and unfixed. Fixed playlist will start at exact time, which means it will load, delete everything what's in current playout playlist and start at exact time you set. Unfixed playlist will load at the time you set, but it won't delete anything. It will just append at the end of the current list in playout. Again, most of the customers use fixed playlist. To create fixed playlist, you must make first item in playlist fixed. So double click on the first item, set the time when you want to start your playlist. For example, we want to switch in 5 in the morning, and then we just set fixed time, and that's all. Once we prepared our playlist, we can use this button, push to play out. When we click it, we get information that playlist is pushed to play out. If we go to lists, we'll see that this list is scheduled to run on Friday at 5 a.m. If we again go to remote control and also click on the lists, we can see that our list is ready to start. Now we'll create one small playlist and we'll push it in this time so you can see how it works. We'll just add a few commercials files, nothing too big like this, and we'll start it at 10:40. We'll again make first item fixed and we'll push it to play out. As you can see, this playlist will start very soon. We'll go to remote settings just to change look of the playlist, and also to show you in play out safety, you can set the time when you want push list to load. It is set 20 seconds before the scheduled time to load. So we'll wait for 40 more seconds. So as you can see, this whole playlist will be removed, and this new playlist will start to play at exact time when we set. Also, there is option to use wait to finish, so you don't cut the playlist, but remember, in that situation, timings won't be accurate 100%. And 5 more seconds. And this is it. So our playlist is loaded. It will start at 10:40, and you can see all these files are red, which means all these files will be deleted from the playlist. And also currently playing item will be cut right now. And that's how push lists work. So you can push list to this exact date you set, but also you can push one same playlist to multiple dates or for multiple months or however you want. You will use CG Editor to create graphics for the playout. Playout has 8 different layers, which are graphics, which can be manual or automatic, logo, music title, now next, promo, parental advisory, program title, and weather. All these layers are automatic. Only graphics can be automatic or manual, and it is used for all the common things you need for the graphics. We use these elements up here to add them to scene to create graphics. We have simple text, then we have link text. This is a text which is linked to some TXT file on the hard drive, and every time you write new text and save in TXT file, it will change text in RCG. Then different times, simple graphics object, image sequence, crawling ticker, rolling ticker, video, of course without audio, and slideshow. You can see all elements in this window on the right, and there you can delete some elements, change order, or create groups. On the right, we have properties for each element, and we can change the size of each element. We can move them with the mouse on the scene. All these things you can fine-tune here in properties. Then we have different effects like shadow, blur, glow. Then we can change color. For example, we can change shape of this graphic element. Then we can animate each element to show and hide in the CG template. And we have some alignment option. On the left, we have a list of our templates. If we double click any template, it will be loaded. For example, here is a slideshow template. This is a slideshow. Then some hashtag, for example, next on TV, ticker. Then we can go to music title and load some music title. Music title has special field title and artist. These two fields in the playout, when this CG is on, will be automatically replaced with real artist name and real song name. Since these elements are animated, you can click on the preview button and you will see animation. We use here image sequence, and these TXT file are animated here in a playout. And same thing for now next. This is animation for now next. It will disappear. We have automatic weather data. And if we click this button here, we can find the city and then test our weather data. And also here we can save as new scene or create blank scene and then add elements. We have option to show playout video as a background, so you can check if the position of the CG is good or not. And also you can change the view of the graphic lists to show images. More about CG Editor in another video. Multi-view application is application where you can preview video and audio from the playout, but you can create some more nice things. For each of these 6 elements, we can do right click and then we can add live, add URL, add CG, add time, or add CPU. If you click add live, then we can have live preview window. We'll start our NDI. And as you can see, we can monitor live, even if it's not in playout. And then we can just push it to playout when the times come. Same thing for URL. We can add URL and then we can add one of URLs. And also we can watch it here, and if it's needed, we can just send it to playout. Beside that, we can add all the manual CG. We can add time, and we can add CPU consumption. So here in CG, we can just double click any CG, and it will automatically show in playout. As for the live and URL, we can just click send on air. Then system asks us what we're going to do with this file which is currently running. We have option to replace current item and play next item, or we can play new item and continue current item, which means if we click this one, wait for URL to start. Here it is, our URL is running right now, and if we take a look at the playlist, we can see that this file is splitted at the moment when URL start and as soon as URL ends, file will continue right exactly where it stopped. The same thing is for live input. And finally, we have this monitoring application. This is the application which monitors for playout, and if playout is not active for 30 seconds, it will start it again. Also, it runs and starts with Windows, and it will start your playout when Windows starts. And that's all about JB Professional Playout.